Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of Women of Arabia. Women of Arabia is a platform where we showcase women from all walks of life who, with their sheer determination and their passion, they have created their dreams into reality. And today, in conversation with us is the emergency nurse manager of the Emirates Specialty Hospital, Reem Youssef. You're not just that, just quite a lot more than that. But then we just needed to just place a name. That's it. Thank you so much, Reem. Thanks for joining us.
Having me. Thank you.
So let's start with the fact that she is the recipient of a very special award. So this is the Distinguished Nurse Award. It's the first time actually a nurse is receiving this award from DHCC.
Dubai Healthcare City.
Yeah, so how was the award and how did you, let's start with that probably. So you received this award and did you know about this?
No, actually, usually they will ask someone to nominate like other nurses, and I was just informed that one of my nurses, my staff actually at the hospital nominated me.
Okay.
I didn't know about it, so it was a really nice surprise. And then I got a phone call from the HCC for the first interview. They asked us a lot of questions about our achievements. We do like a small presentation, and I got elected.
Wow!
Thankfully. So it was the surprise. A very nice one.
It is, because we're like, what? How many nurses? We can't even count the amount of nurses that are there, right?
That's true. And to actually be recognized, that's amazing.
Yeah, the first award and to be recognized, that's truly amazing.
Exactly.
So how long have you been with this particular hospital and in UAE?
Well, I've been in the nursing field for the past more than a decade, almost 11 years.
Okay.
And I've been with the Emirates Specialty Hospital since 2017.
Mm-hmm.
We started the hospital together. It was just construction work everywhere. It was just, there was nothing. So we built the hospital together. I helped them with the emergency room as well and the outpatient department, and so on forth. And I've been in the UAE since 2014. Mm-hmm. Before that, I was with another hospital.
Okay.
So yeah.
And what brought you to UAE? Let's go back to your childhood. Probably let's start with that. And you're from which part
I'm from Lebanon.
You're from Lebanon.
Lebanese origin.
Okay. And growing up, why take up this profession? Is there anybody in your family?
Yeah, to be quite honest, both of my parents are physicians. My dad's a neurologist and my mom is a pediatrician. Okay. And I wanted to study medicine, obviously, become like them. But they said no. They disapproved it. They were like, no. We want you to go live your life. If you want to go into something in the medical field, like study to become a nurse, because there are nurses needed everywhere, more than physicians. And you will learn more, you will care more about others and all that. So I did it and I loved it. Honestly. I love taking care of others. And what also made me love this career even more is that I fell ill, unfortunately. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. So being at the hospital a lot of times, hospitalized a lot and all that, and I saw how the nurses approached me and how they took care of me. It was amazing. And being on this side, the patient, that taught me a lot also how to care for others, especially like ill people. So, and all this is how.
So, what's the disease you were talking about?
Crohn's disease.
Okay.
It's something related to the bowels and the
intestine. Right.
And
And how old were you when you were diagnosed with that? Were you already a nurse at that point?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I was still in school in 2006.
Okay.
It was after a surgery and I got diagnosed by mistake. So I saw how people were taking care of me. I saw the nurses, how compassionate they are. They really were like my older sisters or even like my mothers. They would take care of me all the time, stay with me in the room, comfort me when I'm crying, when I'm in pain, especially when I'm in pain. They were the only ones who would really sit next to me and try to talk to me and ease the pain.
Right.
So that changed a lot in my head.
Right. And it is one of the most giving professions because they're there 24 hours, literally with you, going through your entire journey with you, right?
Take it all on you, physically, mentally, psychologically, but you have to do it.
How do you switch? Because most of the times what happens is when you know the patients and you're there through their journey, then to switch back to being a normal, it's really hard, right?
It's hard, and honestly, you don't switch. I think a lot of nurses would agree with me. You will always be thinking about your patients when you go home, when you're eating, sometimes you dream about them, like, oh, did I give him this? Did I give him that? Did I talk to this patient? They're always on our minds because the caring is always continuous. There's a continuity of care. To be quite honest, in the emergency, it's different from the regular wards. You know, in the emergency, I see patients on daily basis every 5 minutes. Maybe there's a new patient. On the ward, they have their patients staying for a day, 2, 3. So they see the patients more than we do. But still, you cannot switch it off.
You can't.
You always have in the back of your head
they're always
someone
there.
who needs you, someone who needs you. You need you.
Yeah, even now during the interview, she's got all her phones on, everything. She's like, I'm on call all the time. So that's how.
Honestly,
true.
And this is why people trust us and they depend on us for this reason.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, now let's go back to your childhood. So you were growing up, both your parents, you saw them being in the medical field. And this kind of, because most of the times what happens is we're like, okay, we don't want to have anything to do with that, because you see, your mom's a pediatrician, you said, and these are both very time-consuming careers, right? And as you were growing up, did you ever think this is not the path of medicine? You just wanted, because it's a very stressful life.
Never. Honestly speaking, since I was a kid, it was just all the time. I just wanted to, this is what I want, to be in the medical field. I used to go with my dad to the hospital, with my mom, you know, I used to go into the operating room sometimes, or they would let me watch from outside. So, and there's an incident where mom, this is what she told me, I'm not sure, but I don't remember, she said that she would catch me sometimes in the middle of the night watching videotapes, you know, the old VCR, watching surgeries and medical procedures, not only surgeries, medical procedures. I was like, what, 6, 7?
No.
So I know, it's a bit weird.
No playing with Barbie dolls, no.
No Barbie dolls. This is what I wanted to know, and they would get me books, encyclopedias. I would read about it. My dad, being a neurologist, he had this skull. It was at home, and with other things, he would play with the skull, not with it. Okay, this is a bit disturbing, but no, this is not what I meant. But I mean, the anatomy, I was so intrigued, and I was really wanted to know how the human body works. So
I think it has a lot to do with your parents too, right?
Actually, not really. They never encouraged me to be in the medical field. It was never something imposed at home. You know, we have to talk about this or that.
Yeah, no, not that way. Because most of the times, what happens is, I think when I've got friends who parents are doctors, let's say, and they cut off, like their parents, when they come back home, they just cut off. But you don't have that conversations going, and maybe you heard things.
Of course. It was always, you know, when my dad used to be on call, where's dad? Oh, he had to go to the hospital. Or where's mom? She's late. Oh, she was stuck at the hospital. That's why. Or sometimes we would hear them discussing between each other, you know, about special cases. Or when I see sometimes also family members or friends who are sick, they would come to us for our parents to check them. So this is how I used to see it. And it was amazing how people would speak to my parents and thanking them. And I would see my dad saving someone's life. That changed.
That changed. Like literally like your superheroes, right?
Exactly. My dad, both of my parents are my heroes for me. Not just because they're my parents, also for the medical aspect of it. So,
Right. And you've got sisters, brothers.
Yes, I have 2 sisters.
Are they also in the same?
No, just one of them. The older one is a dietitian. She teaches at the university. I'm kind of in the you can say medical field. The younger one, no, she's a chemical engineer. She hates blood. She hates going to physicians. She doesn't like doctors or nurses. So good for her.
Good for her.
We encourage her to take a different
path. Yeah.
So
Okay.
She's actually doing better than I or my other sister. So good for you, Dana.
At least she doesn't have to have bad dreams at night, right, about their patients.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. So you studied in Lebanon. So you did and then you started working there.
Directly, yes. I graduated from the American University of Beirut, and then afterwards I started immediately working at the medical center of the AUB in the emergency room.
Okay. And why always emergency? Was it something you chose, or it chose you?
It was always emergency. I chose it because I wanted somewhere where I can learn about everything. I just wanted to learn, just grasp everything. And in the emergency, you see a lot of cases. It's not just one focus. So you have a lot of information. So, and then afterwards, I continued my master's in critical care nursing.
Oh, okay.
And then I decided that I want to travel. I don't want to stay in Lebanon anymore for career growth, to be honest. And I came to the UAE. I got a really good opportunity in one of the big hospitals here. And this is how my journey started here.
Right.
And then I switched to another hospital in the HCC, and I also finished my MBA this year, actually.
So many things.
My MBA in healthcare management,
Right.
and also a dual degree in postgraduate diploma in leadership as well.
Wow.
So,
and you're moving into that. Do you have a vision, a particular vision? Set up your own hospital back home, perhaps?
Well, because I'm managing the department, I needed to have a good, solid base about management. This is why I studied the MBA. But my passion is still the hands-on, bedside care. So hopefully my next step would be going to the States to finish my nursing practitioner degree, DNP, Doctor of Nursing Practitioner, where I will be also specializing, not sure in what, maybe not emergency, but
do you have to specialize on something?
I will have my own practice, I can see patients, and this is basically in the States, but hopefully I want to move it to the Middle East.
So how does that work? So you are a nurse, but then you can have your own practice in the sense? So.
Yes, they're under the guidance of physicians, but we can still have our own patients diagnose, treat, give medicine. But when we need a subspecialty, then we have to refer to a consultant or a physician.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So she's actually going to live her dream of kind of being a physician, right?
Yes. I'm going to do it. Even though they said no, I'm still going to do it.
What does your mom have to say about this?
No. She's still saying no. Like, why? You're already doing what you like.
Is it guilt that makes her say that she doesn't want...
No, it's not out of... I don't think she wants me to live what she had to go through. She got married late. She had us very late. She wants us to enjoy life. She has a point. She doesn't. I'm at the end of the day, I'm gonna be a mom soon. She doesn't want me to wake up in the middle of the night and all that. But I like it. I want it.
But you like it, right?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
And we always say if we really love what we do, then it doesn't seem like
it doesn't
work.
Look like exactly. Yeah. I don't see my job as a job. I just go there. I enjoy it. I honestly do. Of course, I'm frustrated from time to time. Why this is happening? I scream and yell. It's very normal, but I love it.
Right.
I really do.
Of course. And I always feel that, especially jobs like there are very, very few jobs, and nursing is one of them, where you really have to. You can't just do it as a job. You really need to have the love for what you're doing.
You have to, or else you wouldn't be able to continue. Wouldn't be able to survive it. It's a very stressful job. It's very demanding, very hectic. So if you don't have all the patience in you and all the passion, honestly speaking, you will not be able to do it.
Right. Yeah. And is it also frustrating because sometimes people do relegate it to a second-hand profession as compared to the physician?
Unfortunately, yes. Throughout time, it's sad. Throughout time, the nursing profession is considered as, a second category, not even a professional yet. Unfortunately, nurses are seen as maids, as sexual objects, as nannies, and that's not the case anymore. And that's why we're here, to show everyone, to prove them what nursing really is, and give them the right message about nursing. It's a profession, a qualified, decent profession where you have to study, you become whatever you want to become. So it's based on scientific evidence. It's just like any other science.
Right.
It's called nursing sciences.
Right.
So, but hopefully, good thing that everything is changing with the help of social media, with the help of us also. We're trying to change this image about nursing, but we still need help. From everyone, and we need to change this idea starting from homes. We have to give the right education at home and at schools, raising kids not to just, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer. This mentality has to change.
Yeah, they keep saying, especially where we are also from, where for us it's mostly the supposedly professions are doctors or engineers or lawyers, and nursing is never considered. They would consider it because it's their gateway to abroad, because you need a lot of, and there is a reason why you need more nurses, because they are the backbone of any hospital.
They're the backbones of all hospitals, exactly. The backbones for the physicians, the hospital, for the patients, everyone. And there's a really high number of shortage of nursing all over the world. So we need to start pushing people towards it, that don't go to be like, don't think about becoming a physician or a lawyer just for the prestige or for the money. They do it specifically for the money and the title. You can also gain a lot of money going into nursing, and you can have your title. So it's not just about, you can be a nurse and let it stop at that. No, you can progress in any career. You can progress. So
really?
It's the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. Because I think, again, I'm also talking for the masses here when I say that I've heard people say that the maximum you can be is a head nurse, and then
no.
Okay,
that's not true.
This is education time.
No,
all right,
really, they should know. Okay, of course, you're gonna have to start as a nurse. There's a lot of degrees or like hierarchy to get to it. There's either the practical nurses or the like the assistant nurses, or you will study in a college. You get to do the sciences, the bachelor in sciences. Then you become an RN, which is a registered nurse. And then, depending on your experience, the field of practice or study, you can either become a head nurse. You go into management. You can go into education. You can teach either in universities, or you can become also a nurse educator in hospitals, where you teach also
nurses,
patients, and other staff as well, other healthcare providers, physicians among them. I teach physicians life support, for example. So it's either education, management. You can go into the clinical bedside, advanced, like you can become a certified cardiology nurse. You can become a certified emergency nurse, certified, etc., etc.
Right.
There's endless choices. You can become a nurse anesthetist. So you would give anesthesia to patients. So there's a lot of options. You don't have to just stick to bedside where you give medicine and go back. No, but it's up to you to want to grow.
Exactly.
Because it's going to take time.
Right. And if you look at it, even being a doctor is kind of the same, right? If you become the head of a department, then what? It's so you can't just look at it from that point of view.
Exactly.
If you can advance, you can advance in any
field you can advance. As long as you work hard, you know what you want, then you can go ahead and do it. And the money comes along, so it's a plus as well.
True.
So why not? For example, the nurse practitioners, the nurse anesthesia practitioner or nurse anesthetist in the States gets the highest salary in the States, around $200,000 a year, probably more.
Wow, how difficult is a nurse anesthesia?
It is hard. It is difficult to become one, because you need to study after you're done with your degree, the bachelor's degree. Then you have to go into your master's, and then the doctorate one. It takes around 5 years afterwards, but it's worth it, and so. If you look into this side also, you can do it.
Money should not be a factor.
Should not.
Position should not be a factor, as long as you love what you do.
Exactly. And for people to become nurses, usually they don't think about money. They think about more others, about caring for other services. Yeah, exactly. Because people need it, let's be honest. You see everything, the war, what's happening, then all the negatives outside. To have a good, passionate hand, this is what's missing.
Right.
How can you operate if there's no one to actually stay by the patient's side? Doctors will come, with all respect. I'm not trying to demean anyone's profession.
Of course.
But we know that the doctor is also busy. He has a lot of patients he needs to care for. So they don't have all the time to stay next to the patient 24/7. This is where we come. We are the, if you want to call, how should I say it? As you said, the backbones. We're the ones who monitor the patient, so we can tell the doctor in case something wrong or something bad happens to the patient. So we're the patient's advocate at the end of the day.
Right, and you were right about saying that it has to start from home. It has to start from the fact that parents need to educate their kids on what profession. Every profession is equal. Everything has its own merits, and at the same time, how do you feel about, let's say, the doctors do they support their nurses enough? Do they feel that you are actually the backbone?
Well, I'm going to be quite frank. On this side of the world, the Middle East, and probably the Asian side as well, unfortunately. But it is changing. Just like in the States, it was the same thing. Now, no, they need the nurses. They know that they're very vital and important for hospitals and for all the medical field. So
now I ask because I've seen that too in my part of the country.
This is where nurses also have to play a good role about themselves. When a physician comes and talks to you in a bad way or scolds you or whatever, you have to stand for yourself as well. Like, do not accept when these things happen. And this is how things change. This is how you break the cycle. It has to start from you as well. As a nurse, I'm talking. And hopefully with the new generation, the new physicians, they know that it's a teamwork. We work hand in hand. The old generation, well, they're still used to the idea of, okay, the nurse will exactly do my orders as I tell her or tell him. But hopefully it's changing.
Right. And is it just because you're a woman, or is it the same for the male nurses?
No, it's also the same for male nurses. This is what I've seen. It is a bit different when it comes to male nurses in terms of, for example, payment for the salaries. They're sometimes in some part of the countries in the world, actually, they get higher salary just because they're men.
Which that happens in every
field, every profession, unfortunately. But mainly it's just being for the nursing itself, not for being female or male.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but it's changing, hopefully.
Yeah, it is, right? Yeah. Doesn't it cue that? Because for a very long time, from the beginning of time when nurses were there, it was mainly females, right?
Yes.
And then it was a very female
oriented profession.
And then the males just come in. They manage to get more salaries, more positions.
It's amazing. It's absurd, actually, not amazing.
Is it because that you really do need... is it really vital that you need male nurses? Because sometimes we heard that they're very rare.
Oh, there's very, very rare, yes. To be quite honest, to start with females, you have the attribute of caring more in females than in male, gender.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's needed, both sides, female and male nurses. They're both needed. Sometimes in departments or for specific cases, patients will feel, not at ease, not comfortable if there's a female nurse. So when there's a male nurse, it will help a lot. Especially in trauma, for example, in the emergency, you would want someone who has the manly physique, if you want to put it this way, to help out, especially when there's traumas. So they're needed both ways, males and females. And men can be caring. They can be passionate as well.
Yeah. So what would be your advice to kids, young kids, boys, girls, all alike, who would want to take medicine as a profession, but they are still not too sure about nursing?
Well, to start with, don't look at TV. Don't watch all these Grey's Anatomy and ER stuff and I don't know what, because it's not like that in real life. It's not. It's much more than this. Read about it. You can go even to hospitals. You can ask to spend a day in a hospital. Look how it goes. Talk to nurses. Talk to physicians. Basically, just learn about this thing before you make up your mind. It's a career at the end of the day. It's gonna affect your whole life. And even if you go into, for example, nursing and you don't like it, you can always switch. You can go back to medicine. You can go back to, public health, anything in the medical field. So just learn, read about it and ask the right people. Don't just depend on people's gossip, you're just going to be a nurse. No, that's not it. Talk to the concerned parties and they will help you to go into it.
Right. And being in this profession, you said you've been in the profession for more than a decade. What were some of the big challenges that you faced either back home or after you came here?
Big challenges.
Was it more challenges here or back home?
To be honest, it was more here because it was a new culture for me, new quality, if you want to put it this way, quality of patients. I'm used to back home to seeing, my part of my people, if you want to put it this way. Okay. And I'm used to this setup. I'm used to everything. Everyone around me was either Lebanese or American because I was at the American University. Here I had to deal with different cultures, as I said, not only with patients, also with physicians and other staff nurses. That was a big challenge for me to understand the way they think, the way they were brought up, the way they studied is different than mine. And I was used to something here. I'm like, no, it's the other way around. Yeah. I had more freedom back home, to be honest, dealing with patients. Here, it's more restricted because you're dealing with different nationalities, different backgrounds.
Does it matter? Restriction?
A bit, depending on the country's rules and regulations. Mm-hmm. Obviously, in Lebanon, it's a bit different than the UAE. The UAE a bit more strict, which is good. I salute them for this. It has to be like this everywhere.
Yes.
But yeah, this was mainly my biggest challenge. And my bigger challenge was studying and working while being sick, honestly speaking. This is a personal challenge, personal matter, but this was one of my biggest challenges. Yeah.
All right, just take us through that. So you said you were diagnosed when you were right after university?
No, I actually got diagnosed probably a year ago almost, because I was misdiagnosed for 10 years.
Oh,
it was every time like a different opinion, different diagnosis. They didn't know what to do with me. I was always in pain, and the disease itself was not very well studied, and it was not very well known. So that was a big challenge, going to work while you're in pain, or even going to uni while you're in pain, or I would even be studying while being hospitalized in bed. So that was a huge challenge for me.
And how did you manage to, how did you just not give up?
Because you shouldn't. It's easier to give up. And then what? Then what? I had the support of my family. I'm not gonna lie. I got depressed. Obviously, imagine someone who's sick. And I was even more depressed because of work. It was so hectic, so stressful. On top of it, I was getting sick more often. So I got really depressed and I wanted to give up. But then I would remember my patients. Honestly, I'm not saying this to just say it. Because on many occasions when I was hospitalized, I would be walking down the corridor. I would see patients that I've already taken care of before. Oh, yeah, they would recognize me. You took care of me in the emergency. Oh, I hope you get well. That gave me a huge boost to, you know what? No, I'm not going to give up. I have to continue.
It's sad. Actually diagnosed what exactly was wrong with you, right? That would have been frustrating.
Alone, yes. Like knowing would be good, but not knowing, that's even worse.
Yeah, that would be frustrating. The fact that you have to study, then you have to work and then be there in nursing profession. Even without all this, it is stressful.
Yes.
With all that added to it, oh my God, it would have been so depressing. I mean, can you imagine just going down that?
It's bad, but you have your family support, you have your friends support, the patients, and that's what kept me going.
Did you feel like you were actually depressed?
Yes.
Were there days, months, or?
I honestly thought about just ending everything, like I want to stop, I don't want to work, I don't want to do anything, I just want to stay home. Because I was always in pain, I didn't want this life. But it took a while to get out of it with some medical help, honestly.
Right.
Honestly, yeah.
And it's that's where many cultures also come into play, because in our, I can only talk from our experience, obviously, from our culture, it would have been so much easy, like we said. First, just forget about everything, just stay at home, just, you have people caring for you. And at that time, you need that, right? That care, that support, but people might not understand what we're going through.
Exactly. And you get judged and people would just...
And it's easy for people to judge.
Exactly.
Everything.
And to just talk about whatever. And also on this matter, someone who helped me a lot was my previous nurse manager in AUB. I remember I had a phone call with her. I was really frustrated and I'm just sick of everything, sick of people gossiping, not knowing what's really going on. And she was like, who cares? People are going to talk, and they're going to find a new subject to talk about tomorrow or the day after. You just keep on doing what you want to do. I still have her words. Okay, it was a much longer conversation, obviously.
Of course,
But these things, they boost you. This is why when I tell you, like, you need the support, you need to go to the right people, this is where it comes in hand.
Yeah. And so you came out of that phase thanks to your patients, thanks to
my family and all that.
Friends.
And I came here. This is when I decided, for career growth, for change, like life changing.
And even personal growth, right?
Exactly. Like I want to start fresh. I want to start over. So I came here and I did it. Yeah.
While you were coming here, because most people in such cases would not think about going completely somewhere different, because that would be even more difficult, because your whole support system is going to be taken away from you.
That's true. It was a big challenge.
It would be even worse, right?
Actually,
you jumped in.
It wasn't worse. It was what I needed at that point. I needed to get away from everything. I needed a fresh start. I needed not to be judged for my history, my medical history, me being a woman also, because I was judged a lot. So I had to
Really?
step away from all of it.
Yeah. Why being a woman saying that, oh, it's drama?
She's just overreacting.
She's
Drama
just looking
queen, looking for attention.
Yes.
Or So no, I had to prove everyone wrong, and I did. This is why I chose. Like, I just wanted to prove every single person who stood in my way and who told me that you will not make it, that I'm fine. Look at me, I'm amazing. Actually, I'm maybe better than most of you. So you can do it. Once you put your mind into it, you can overcome anything. And this is not just talk. This is me going through it. Literally, I went through this. So women everywhere should have
there
this.
She is now, 10 years later. She's got a little baby on the way, right?
A girl as well.
A little girl
and I will teach her all of this.
Right. Of course. And how many months due now?
I'm 6 months now.
So in a couple of months, she's going to come out. So how has the motherhood, the pregnancy journey been with everything that you have?
Horrible. Horrible.
That's how truthful it can be.
You don't glow during pregnancy. You blow. You become. This is what my husband says. And by the way, also I need to give a shout out to my husband because he's my backbone. He's my support. I almost tear up when I talk about him. I love him so much. He's been very supportive through everything. And with the pregnancy, he's tolerating me. Let's put it this way.
Oh, he has no idea what he's getting into.
He likes it. He said yes. It's not me. He also agreed to this. But it's also challenging now working as a nurse with the pregnancy, especially in the emergency. You have to run around, up and down and all that. 2 months back, I was 4 months pregnant. We had an arrest in the emergency. Someone's heart stopped. So, you have to do the CPR, the pumping. I forgot that I was pregnant and I stood on the stepper and I started pumping. So the doctor was like, that you and your baby now are doing the compression. Step down. What are you doing? Because you run to do what you love. This is what I'm used to doing. But now it's becoming tiring. I can't do it anymore. I'm becoming heavy. I can't breathe properly. I'm mad all the time. But
yeah, because it would be difficult, right?
It is.
With your condition.
And at work, your body and taking care of things at home, you need the extra help or support from your partner or from whoever is with you. But it is hard.
It is.
I think
yes,
your mom, right? So
100%. I know.
And I still don't have the baby out. I'm still pregnant, and I feel this. So let alone.
It's not easy. But then motherhood it's like nursing, for example. It's definitely not easy, but it is so
fulfilling.
You can say that. Probably. Yeah, it is.
Hopefully, we'll see.
No. 100% is fulfilling. So yes, your whole journey, and you're saying now the motherhood and everything. Was it difficult with your condition? Did you always want to be a mom?
Always.
Yeah?
I've always wanted to be a mom. Ever since I can remember, all I wanted was just to have a mini-me. Okay, not mini-me. I just wanted a baby to take care of. Like, I wanted this. And I saw also my sister, because I helped her raise her 3 kids. So I enjoyed it a lot, and I wanted this for myself as well.
And did you ever worry that because whether you would have kids or not because you're a nurse, you know a lot. This is the problem.
By the way, yes, this causes a lot of problems because you're in the field. You know too much. Sometimes it's annoying. Like, I wish I did it. Is a blessing, really. Yeah. So as I was saying that I was told I cannot get pregnant. It was a bit. It was depressing a lot, to be honest. Right? So as soon as I got pregnant, I'm like, yes, I'm gonna keep it. I did it. I can do it. But of course, I need to take care extra.
Because our mind plays with us in ways that we cannot imagine. So when someone comes, most of the times they say, right, when somebody tells you you have only 2 months left to live, it's more what we put us through that we actually die in 2 months or earlier. So don't you think that, when somebody says things like that, it's you should be very careful, especially doctors and nurses.
Of course, you need to choose your words carefully, because it affects the patient's psyche in a tremendous way. We don't want to give them false hopes, and at the same time, we don't want to, get them to just give up.
Deliver the blow, literally.
Just the way you speak with patients makes a lot of difference, a lot. So just, this is where we come. Also caring, because usually the physicians would say something really brutal to the patient, and then the nurses would come and comfort the patient.
You're dying. No, actually, you're not dying.
No, you're not. Don't worry, you still have a lot to live for. This is why patients, they trust us more. They would feel safe more around. Well, not more safe, but they feel at ease because they know we're like their sisters, like their mothers, brothers or fathers also.
Yeah.
Usually it's not us. We're not allowed to tell the patient if they're diagnosed with anything or what the next condition. It's the responsibility of the physician. Honestly, this is how it should go.
Okay.
It's the aftermath that we deal with. The crying or the happiness. Doesn't have to be always a cry. Yeah. This is where we come, but it's not us who usually who come with the bad news. Yes. Which is good. I don't want to take this responsibility. I went through it once because the patient didn't speak Arabic, didn't speak English, and I was the only one who spoke Arabic, and I had to talk to them. His wife was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and I had to inform the husband, and it was traumatizing even for me, to see a grown man just collapsing in tears. So I'll leave it to the physician.
Yeah, but do you think they do need some kind of a nervous steel, right? The physicians or nurses.
Yes. It's not easy to come and
tell someone
that...
It's so contradicting. Because on one hand, they say that you need to be compassionate, and on the other hand, you also have to have your nervous steel when you deliver bad news. It makes you, because I've seen over the course of years, it makes nurses or doctors a bit more stone-hearted.
They become a bit more robotic, that's true. And
that's bad.
It's good and bad at the same time. It's good because if you deal with any scenario like that with your emotions, you will not be able to perform your job properly. And at the same time, you need to still have this compassion in you. Sorry. I'm going to give you a small example. My first arrest in the emergency, when I saw someone dying, I collapsed into tears. And I was like, oh no, I can't see this. Someone's dying. But then I saw myself a couple of months later. It was, no, I can do it, because you forget about this aspect. You're here to save someone's life. You're here to help someone. So this is where you need to have this steel, because if they're collapsed, the patients or the bystanders, and you're collapsing, then who's going to support them? Who's going to give them the, be there for them? Who's going to be their backbone or their advocate, as they were saying? So we need to have the steel, but of course, a sense of steel, but with the passionate side.
Right. And God, now that you mentioned that, the first time somebody died, that would be traumatic, right? You really do reconsider. Do I really want to be in this profession?
It was, because it was my first week, or probably a couple of days, and it was a father who passed away, and I saw all his girls and his wife around him. They're crying, and I think in our culture, this is everybody would be crying, yelling and screaming. Yeah. I was just stood at the corner, and I was just sobbing, because I was like, oh my God, this is real life. Yeah. But then I saw how the medical staff were talking to the family, and they were explaining that he would have suffered. We tried to help him. So there's always,
a balance. Yeah.
There's a balance at the end of the day, and this is life. There's death, and there's
life and death.
Death,
both. That's
right.
The balance, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We turned a lot.
All right.
Let's go back
to something good. So, what next for you in terms of your future, your career, personal, professional? Personal, we know what's happening.
Let's start with this one first. Let her get out safely.
Right.
And as I told you, my next step would be if I can continue with my education in the nursing practitioner field. And hopefully I would be working, this is what I want. I don't know if they would accept me in the HCC Dubai Healthcare City, because honestly, I have to thank them. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here talking to you. They were the ones they're the reason why I got recognized. So maybe if there's any future plans with them also related to healthcare, not only in nursing, anything related to healthcare, whether with research or just to enhance what's going on in the UAE as well. So
there is a lack, right, in UAE for research, medical field.
Yeah, it's still growing, and they're going through the right way. They're getting the right people, the right institutions and all that, but they're growing a lot, and they're growing fast. This is why it's amazing to work with them. They really put their mind to it, and when they want to do something, they do it, and they want to progress. They want to do it for the sake of people and not just, I don't know, personal gain, monetary.
But that's Dubai, right? In general, UAE, that's what
that's
they're doing.
UAE in general. This is why people come to work here, because they know they will grow, they will achieve goals. So this is one of them.
Do you think you would have been able to achieve this kind of success if you were back home or any other part of the world? Because UAE, along with you, it's also progressing.
I would, but not as fast as here.
Yeah.
The UAE in general recognizes and helps recognizing people for what they do and their achievements more than other countries. So I have to thank them again, because they help me reach maybe faster, if you want, or deliver my message faster than any other place.
Right.
Yeah.
And how do you find time to study, to work, to take care of your family, to be a mom? Well, almost, almost mom. It's there still.
I sleep 3 hours a day, probably. That's how I find the time.
I'm a walking zombie.
Most of time management. You need to really know set your priorities to know how to come along and how to cope with things, and with my husband's help. Honestly speaking, without him, I can't. There's a lot of things I won't be able to do. But it's just about time management and prioritizing what you need to do and what you not need to do. Right. Basically, yeah.
And what's your one last piece of advice for young girls
and men and boys? I'm not gonna say
right, for everyone who wants to follow their dream, and they have so many people telling them that you shouldn't.
Since it's Women's of Arabia, I have to talk about women more. Just do what you're really passionate and what you like to do. Don't listen to anyone. You can do, and you can become whoever you want. So, and don't let anything stop you. Not anything medically, not your health, nothing. Just set your mind to what you want to do, and you can do it. Just do it the right way. That's what I can say. Right. Just have a goal. As long as you have a goal, you can do whatever you want.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And that'll be the one piece of advice you'll be giving little one also, right?
Yes. Oh, she's going to be sick of me for everything I'm going to tell her.
Oh, thank you so much,
Thank you so much for having me
again. Such a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Congrats on the baby, on the award, and all the best for motherhood.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And everything in future.
Hopefully, if you get me another time, I will be with my little
one.
She's going to be called yet, but with the little one.
Yes, with the little one. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So that was Reem. There was another episode of Women of Arabia. We'll be seeing you in the next one. Thank you so much.